So I'm going to attempt to put this pinball machine in my house, but the backboard or the head is like 29 inches wide. This is a super wide pinball machine, Twilight Zone. And so that means, well, my door is 29 inches wide, so I will not be able to fit it through my door. So I need to take off this entire backboard. And I'm filming it so that I know how to put it back together. And maybe if this is interesting, I will post it. So you take off the backboard, you put the key in to release the back glass. This lifts up. This comes out. This lifts out and folds down. And then this has a little latch here. Let this swing open. And this is the inside of my pinball machine. It's been upgraded. I didn't do these upgrades. I bought it this way. So it's got a pin soundboard. These are pin sound speakers. There may be other things that have been upgraded. I think this, what's this called? A dot matrix display. The DMD has been upgraded. It's not color, but I think the old one may have burned out or was bad. So this is a new dot matrix display. And there's two umbilicals here that go into the body of the pinball machine and connect to the body. So basically you have to detach each one of these little pin connectors that goes into these umbilical cords. They're all over the place on this machine. And that way, once this is all disconnected, you can drop those back inside, lift the top off, and separate the machine into two pieces. That way you can move it into tighter spaces. And I think what I will do, I guess get tape and label each piece as to where they go on the board, because there's a lot in here that I'm not too confident about remembering. So we'll do that. And eventually I'm gonna, this is a battery pack that is on the board, and they say that's bad because these batteries can leak and drip down and destroy this thing. So I'm gonna replace that with an external battery pack eventually. But yeah, so this is my first pinball machine. I've never done this before, so I'm learning on this, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I've got my tape, my marker. It's like there's this sort of purplish bundle here. I'm just gonna go down the line, take off each piece, label them as I go. Wish me luck. I'm just gonna say P for purple, P1. So I'm just P1, P2, P3. So here's the first one. Pull it off, put a P1 on there, and put a P1 on there. Well, this should do it. P2. All right, so this first one is detached. That one's detached. Those two are done. All the way up to here. And then it splits and comes across, goes here. Wow, this is complicated. Goes way over to here. But it is all part of the main harness here. Man, I hope I get this back together. It's super tight. Hopefully it's not locked in. I don't see anything holding it in. There's these little black things on the side. Are those holding it in? Oh, broke off the pin. Okay. I think that's the knocker when you get a free game. I think this is the one that goes clunk. Yep. I always wondered what that was. And it's interesting, they are looped inside this blue and white one. So they go through this way. There's this data cable here I'm going to disconnect it because it's holding basically the wire harness. So now this black one, meaning this black tube here, is completely detached. So now we just have to do this gray tube. Whew. So here's a zip tie that's holding this tube to the cabinet here. There's a little loop that goes through, so I have to cut this one. Eventually I'll cut this one too, but I'm just gonna cut this one, dump it in, get it out of the way so I can keep working. So it looks like technically I can just take this whole black one here and drop it down inside without scraping off any of my tape. Just get it out of the way. Okay. So these all connect to this sound and display board. So those are all good. Those will stay. This audio is tricky because part of it goes down into the cabinet. So you should just pull it right off. Now, just got to finish this, everything coming out of this gray one. That one's free, now it's just the stuff going this way. And these are actually clamped, or zip tied to the ground. So I need to take this ground off. Okay, so I got this little nut off. I'll take the ground off the screw. Put the nut back on the screw so I don't lose it. This one, and it's actually fed underneath this gray one, so it goes all the way in the back up to here. I believe that's everything. So now I can cut this gray umbilical loose. So it's no longer attached to the board. There's that. Now, I believe I knocked this loose in the process. So I'll have to figure out where this was attached from the video. But for now, I'm sort of shove all this in here without taking off the tape. Okay, so that's all free. Figure this guy out later. I'll put this guy back in. Yeah, it's all free. I can close this up. Key out. So now, the only thing holding this on are these two side hinges. So we have a dog, and there's these two side hinges that allow the top to swivel down. So you can see they're inside the machine right there. There's an Allen wrench bolt that holds these on either side. So I have to take off the glass, get in there, undo those. Then I can release the lid. So these are 1/4 inch. This will take a while. So this backer board is now free. There's just this one little latch that's really not doing much on the back, but it's doing something. So I'm going to undo that and then tilt the back towards me. Hopefully it does not fucking fall. All right, wish me luck. We're going back. And we're free. It's fairly heavy, but not unmanageable. All right. So there's your headless pinball machine. Now, this should only be like 26 inches wide. My drawer weighs 29. So this will fit in no problem. That will fit in no problem. Then I'll just put it back together in the room. Whew. Clasping the latch on the back. Huh. Not too bad. Okay, let's see if I did it too tight. Let's see if this still goes down. Oh yeah. All right. And I'm trying to orient this tube the same way so that the wires will kind of naturally go the way they were going already. And the main thing about these is just so it takes any strain off of any of these wires that are attached to anything. So this is taking all the weight, pulling down into the cabinet. Well, I think I'm gonna wait on this one. So I'm gonna put all these on, run them through these feeds, and then attach this one and do the same thing so that it goes on exactly opposite of what I did the first time. And definitely the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the video I shot when I took everything apart, put on my laptop so I can sort of scrub backwards through it to see everything that I did. So I'm gonna do everything I did the first time, but in reverse order to put it all back into place. And hopefully along the way, I'll figure out where this one fell off. So I forgot, one thing that I wanna do with this board is not have the batteries on the board so they don't leak and destroy it. So I believe I need to take out this entire board so that I can solder a new battery holder onto the back and set it off to the side here. So I got to see what's attached to this one. So we have this cord that goes all the way across, and this ribbon, these two ribbons, and I think that's it. Okay, not so bad. And then I guess these screws just hold on the board. So I'm gonna label these ribbons, this thing here, and then take out the board. And I also saw where this ribbon goes to. It goes to the dot matrix display, dot matrix display. So this cord got pulled out of here when this slid down too far. So at least I know where that goes to. Ribbon one. So I don't know if you can see this, but there is already, like, not from these batteries, these are brand new, I just put these in, but some batteries have leaked and corroded these connectors a little bit. So yeah, I think it's a good thing to not use this and put something else. I learned this from watching someone else's video. So basically you have these three, I don't know if you can see this, but there's these three connection points and three little solders on the top and the bottom. And if you look at the back, here are those three solders, top, bottom. And then if you can see this little circuit, it goes from this first one. So basically these three connect, and then they connect their power to here. And these three connect, and they connect their power to this line here that you can see printed on the circuit board. If you get really close, let me see how close I can get. You can see that these aren't actually touching that line. So basically what I want to do is get the battery pack, the external pack, and solder one here and one here, and that should do the circuit. All right, I have never soldered before, so I have rosin core solder, I guess. And I got this Fentic Next T1 Max soldering iron. It's cordless. I've never had one. I've never had any sort of soldering iron, so I figured why not. So I'll get this charged up. Hopefully it has some power, and we'll see what we can do. All right, so soldering iron has been charging. I looked back at the video and saw that the batteries are in this way, so up, this gold end is positive, so this must be the positive end, this must be the negative end. These are these little external battery things that I got. One thing I will have to do is get some sort of wire to go a little further than this. All right, I found some wire. Looks like sprinkler wire. I don't know. So I just need to go from here to about there. Not too much. And I don't have any shrink tubing, so I'm gonna have to do with the electrician's tape, which is not ideal. I will probably come back, redo this once I get that, but I just want to get this going, make sure it works. So I got sort of a little longer lead for connecting these two together, and then a kind of short one to solder on the back here. Let's hope I know what I'm doing. I wet the sponge, got my solder. I think I know which ones to do. All right, that looks right. So it's glowing. Oop, look at that. Smoking. Is that normal? It's kind of here goes nothing. So I'm gonna first sort of heat this bit. Okay. Maybe. We'll see if I just destroyed this board or if it's going to work. Whew. All right. So if I remember right, this goes this way. That might be it. Hold on to your butts. Let's get this door open. Time and date not set. Well, let's try it. There we go. All right. I am emptying the gumball machine because I got a new Powerball. This one that's kind of not very white, so I got a good one. This is from Marco. So my hands are dirty. I'm afraid to touch it, but boy, look at that Powerball. Compared to the old one, that's the new one. So I'm happy. Let's see if it works. Oh wait. One last setting. The start button, it lit up. But it's not doing anything, so I gotta figure that out. So it took me a long time to figure out this start button. It wasn't flashing, it wasn't depressing. I mean, the button worked, but it wasn't attached to anything. These have always been on the bottom row, but I looked for start button fixes and someone online shared a picture of their panel, and their stuff was up here, and in the manual it says that it should be connected to J208 and 206, which are these two. So I moved these up here with no difference that I noticed. And then this is the one that just, I pulled it out and pushed it back in, and it just seemed like that fixed the start button. So I don't know if I just didn't see that one well enough. But now that's in, the start button's working. I just played a game. My battery pack's sitting over here, and it seems to be working. It keeps the date. I should unplug it and see. Plug it back in. So yeah, it works. The tilt is, the degree of slope is way off. You can see the bubble, it's way down here at the end, so it's super flat, so everything's rolling super slow, so I gotta put it in place and level it, but it seems to be working. So I'm super happy I didn't destroy it. The battery seems to be working. Let me just finish this thing. So the one thing I don't know is, did the clock save the time? Let's see. Yeah, there's the time. I unplugged it. The time still works. My battery pack thing worked. Amazing. I wouldn't say I fixed my first pinball machine, but I got it back into one piece and it's working. So that's a huge thing for me. Yeah, so I got to put it in place, put the glass back on, bolt down the cabinet. These two wing nuts. I do plan to clean this, replace all the rubbers. I have a whole new rubber set. Fix some of these plastics, like this one's broken. I'm going to replace these two. This one needs replacing. So I got a few of those. Yeah, just give it a general good cleaning, and then I want to make my own little slot machine. I've seen them online. They're very cool. They're very nice. They're definitely worth the money for all the work that is going to go into it. But I want to make my own that looks exactly like the TV show slot machine. So I'm working on 3D modeling that goes there. I'll see if I want to add more. I don't really feel like there's a lot missing. Maybe a clock back here with a clock mode. But I don't think it needs a lot. People make like little cars and other things. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy. There's also a mod where you replace these pieces with low profile pieces. So basically you lose this cool gray rubber thing so you can kind of see the play field a little better. That might be worth my time. And then I do think I want to do a whole light replacement. There's some up here in the backboard that have LEDs, and I think I'm gonna get a whole kit and just replace all the lights. So there, I got my wing nuts installed in here. Okay, maybe we get my glass put in place and we'll be all set.